French, but shalom, greetings to you all. Now, I'd not been out to a film in a long time, and I ended up meeting some really great friends of mine the other night. And it was hard to find something to see. Everything just seemed to be zombie-dominated. And I just don't get it. Times have changed. And speaking of time, many were fascinated by our discussion of time last week. And the two ways of looking at time that we talked about. Remember, I'll always be grateful for the time that you share with me. And so time, the most precious commodity of all, is the one thing we cannot get back when spent. We cannot manufacture it. There's two ways to mark time. Chronos, or chronological time, sequential, watching and measuring time. And kairos, supreme moment time, moments of indeterminate time, when events of significance occur, like when time stands still, when you're experiencing an event or a sensation, or like the time I get to spend with you. And it was put so beautifully by the Bob Dylan, George Harrison tune on New Morning. Time passes slowly up here in the mountains. We sit beside bridges and walk beside fountains. Catch the wild fishes that float through the stream. Time passes slowly when you're lost in a dream. And we do get lost in dreams. And we'll come back to that in a minute. But first, let me say that I hope you all had a great Tree New Year Day and an even better Festival of Love Day. Valentine's Day is one of those great days to dream about life and love, togetherness, and happiness. And I hope you all got to and get to celebrate those dreams and all of your dreams. You know, you've got to hold on tight to your dreams. Hold on tight to your dreams. When you see your ship go sailing, when you feel your heart is breaking, hold on tight to your dreams. And sometimes we have to hold on to our dreams because thoughts are things. What you believe, you manifest, and we will see that this week. And we are constantly reminded of it, my friends. Dreams, what we aspire to, what motivates us, what can be used to unite us all. But first, let's come together and invite everybody you know, physically or spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov, inviting everyone to come together to unify together. Hine Matov. Hine Matov u'manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. All together, no divisions, no lines, no barriers. All together, we should come together as a natural thing, not as an unnatural, only in crisis thing that we tend to do. So let's all together take a moment to express gratitude. Renew spirit and energy with and for each other. Take time to be thankful for all the miracles of our lives, our health, our happiness, our families and friends, and the great love that envelops us and everybody we know. Let's share that goodwill and love with those in need. Let's send out energy to help heal all those in need of healing and renewal at this time of hope, of peace, of light. Remember, sending goodwill, love, peace, and thanks. Such an easy thing to do. To transmit energy to everybody you know in need. Call out names for whoever you know. For Johan, for Phil, for Christine, for the bee. For all of you in need of love, of renewal, of spirit. Think of those in need. Call out healing for them. In your mind or out loud, the kindness, healing wishes, goodwill, and love you all send out circles the world, finding those in need, and it looks like the whole world's in need right now. So thank you, each of you. Mi sheperech avotenu makor habracha limotenu the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. And let us say, Amen. Misha Baruch, let us all, the world over, have our spirits renewed. Now, friends, this week is one of the most fascinating of all of the readings from the Bible that you will ever do. And I think it is the point of the book. This is Yitro, Jethro, one of the few parshas named for a non-Jewish biblical person. Truly important person who should have been talked about in a completely different parsha. He kind of gets lost in this one. Yitro, or Jethro as we know him, was Zipporah's father and therefore Moses' father-in-law. A very interesting person, referred to in this book of names by at least 5 different names, and sometimes at least by 2 of them in the same sentence. Doesn't matter. Arose by any other name. Now, sometimes the name does say it all. Moses, Noah, Joseph. Say the names. You have an incredible image of the person and what they did. You have the Exodus, the flood, dreams. And sometimes you say the name and you get only what the person stands for. Melchizedek, priest king. Pharaoh, king of fear. Now, Jethro may have been a Midianite priest. So it really doesn't matter what his name was. Jethro, Ruel, Jeter, doesn't matter. But he certainly believed in the God of the mountain. Although when we meet him, he actually appears to be more, come across and speak more as a henotheist rather than a monotheist. There is a difference. One of them believes there are many gods, but there's one supreme God. And that possibly suits the people of the times, including the Israelites, a little bit more than pure monotheism. And he had some fantastic ideas, not the least of which is the system of judges, which will guide Israel for hundreds of years. But this section, again, is one of the ones that you read and you say, hey, this is out of sequence. Exodus 18:16, when they have a matter, comes to me, and I judge between each and his companion, and I make known God's laws and his instructions. And that's God explaining to his father-in-law what he does. Well, I hate to tell you, but there were no laws yet to explain or interpret. So this is certainly put out of sequence. But what does Jethro do? He gives suggestions, but more than that, he brings Moses' wife and sons to reunite with him. A reunion that we hear and read nothing about, other than that we read that he brought them with him. And it's really, that in itself, it's quite fascinating as we continue to learn absolutely nothing about the most important man in Judaism. And so here we are on the verge of the highlight of the Bible. It's the 3rd new moon from the Exodus. The people have come to Mount Sinai. God tells Moses to say, Exodus 19:3, you yourselves saw what I did to Egypt, and I bore you on the wings of eagles. I brought you to me. And now if you'll truly heed my voice and keep my covenant, you will become for me a treasure among all the peoples. For mine is all the earth. And as for you, you will become for me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words that you shall speak to the Israelites. Well, we see right away it's conditional, that it's an if statement, but that's okay. It's the image of the eagle, the highest flying bird of all. It was a different image for this book. And of course, when I was young, it always reminded me of Gandalf flying off in Lord of the Rings when he escaped from the tower. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. Fly right through the revolution. Well, everything has become magical again at the foot of the mountain. Look, I'm about to come to you in the utmost cloud, so that the people may hear as I speak to you. This is going to be a public pronouncement. All of mankind's other spiritual or religious revelations were and would be, in the future, private. Jesus, Paul, Mohammed, Buddha. Only this one has witnesses. 600,000 of them will hear the words of God. Think of it. This was some revolution, the birthright of each and every one of you to be free. This week, my friends, it's not about Yitro. It's really about the great epiphany, the Decalogue, the 10 Commandments, which in the Hebrew are called the 10 words, Asheret, haDibrot. He set before them all these words. Words, devarim. Now they're imagined in biblical Hebrew to be virtually palpable entities, which can be put before the people, which have powerful consequences from the moment they are spoken. And notice it says all these words, not these 10 words. Good editing. It sounds better and it's more manageable. All could be a book. 10, not so bad. I could do 10. Exodus 19:16. Thunder and lightning and a heavy cloud on the mountain, and the sound of the ram's horn very strong, and all the people who were in the camp trembled. Well, Mount Sinai was all in smoke, because the Lord had come down on it in fire. The new calling card of God that we talked about before, and its smoke went up like the smoke from a kiln. And the whole mountain trembled greatly. Thunder on the mountain, and there's fires on the moon. There's a ruckus in the alley, and the sun'll be here soon. Today's the day, gonna grab my shofar and blow. Well, there's hot stuff here, and it's everywhere I go. The Sinai encounter is imagined as the decisive moment in human history when the celestial and terrestrial realms are brought into panoramic engagement. And as God comes down on the mountain, every sort of natural firework is let loose so that the trembling seizes not only the people but the mountain itself. This is what the entire Torah is all about. God and man meeting, God announcing the 10 words. Things, ways of living, lessons in freedom that grant everything you want. A system of 10 broken down into the relationships of life. Those with God, our spirit, those with ourselves, our souls, and those with fellow man. Exodus 21. And God spoke all these words, saying, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slaves, out of slavery, my friends, out of fear. And they're done in the second person singular, spoken to each person individually, to you, and even to you. No other gods. No image. Don't take the name of God in vain. Do not forget the Sabbath. Hallow it. Honor your father and mother. Do not murder. Do not commit adultery. Do not steal. Do not bear false witness. Do not covet. Now, if we believe what God says, who took you out of the house of slaves out of fear, then we should be free. So why do we still not believe it? Well, the people recoil in horror at the celestial show, and Moses says, do not fear. Do not fear. Make that your new mantra going forward, everybody. Do not fear. These 10 statements are all you need to know. So let's take a quick look at them. These are not then words. They are now words. This is living history. Well, there's only one God. There can only be one. Everything stems from a point, singularity. God cannot be sculpted, carved, drawn, pictured. Therefore, God cannot be limited. God is love and truth and being. After all, his name means he who causes being. Therefore, do not lie. The third commandment is not about swearing. This commandment means that one cannot make an oath in God's name and not fulfill it. Do not lie. Fourth, remember the Sabbath and observe allows us to utilize cognitive skills and to cease activity and therefore renew our own energy. And do exactly what God did, identically, by the way. He ceased. The Sabbath, the word means cessation time, ceased. So even before being enjoined in the Ten Commandments, it's assumed by the entire story with the creation story behind it to be part of the very structure of nature. Ceasing is applicable to everybody. There's no provision in here for the Shabbos Goy, by the way. Our parents, my friends, are our roots, our belief systems. Mother and father are also wisdom and understanding on the tree of life. This fifth commandment effects a transition from obligation vis-a-vis God to obligation vis-a-vis human beings, beginning with the human pair through whom each of us comes into the world. It is also the only one of the 10 not couched in the negative. Do not murder. Well, it's not the same as kill. Murder involves intent. Everything you manifest stems from your intent, your kavanah. The entire unfolding of your life comes from this idea. And it is about the intent of murdering spirit as well. When you call someone stupid or anything else to denigrate them, what is your intent? And what are the effects that has on them? No adultery. Well, adultery had a very specific definition in biblical times, and times have changed, so the definition is a little bit different today. So let's be like one of our animal friends that mate for life. The gray wolf, the penguin, the bald eagle, the gibbon, swans, angelfish. Do not adulterate spirit either. Do not steal. Whether it's as simple as food as you walk through the grocery store, or time as you make personal calls at work. Taking what is not yours, not healthy. No false witnessing. This is not the same as the third commandment, which was far more about not lying. This is about witnessing and the damage you can do in falsely accusing and impinging people's character. No coveting. Coveting demeans you. What you have, how you view yourself. When you covet, you negate yourself and your self-worth and what you have accomplished so far. You know what? These are not hard things to live by. If you do nothing else, live your life with these simple rules. If you don't want to read anything further, or you don't want to go back and read anything we've read to this point, just read this short little section. It's not that long. But this is a simple way. These are simple rules to live your life by. In the Torah, law is set in history, and the history of the Exodus is the history of the people. Exodus 20:15. And all the people were seeing the thunders and the flashes and the sound of the horn and the mountain shaking, the mountain smoking. And the people saw, and they moved and stood at a distance. Well, there's actually an error here. There's an error in translation. The real wording is not the people saw, but feared. The Masoretic text reads saw. That's the text we follow. But the Greek, Samaritan, and other versions of the text read were afraid. The consonants of the Hebrew words for saw and were afraid are the same, era. And we're afraid is probably correct because Moses tells the people, don't be afraid, 2 verses later. And that is the emotion that fits the nature of man. Fear rules. Well, man's fear made us tell Moses we did not want to hear such things again. And so from this moment on, all revelation to Israel is mediated by a prophet. And God never speaks directly to the people again in any book of the Tanakh. Exodus 20:17, and Moses said to the people, do not be afraid. Your new mantra, do not be afraid. Yes, the world is sacred, and so is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free. Honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light. I'll live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, an end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let us send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, good healing to all who need it. Please do learn to forgive. Learn to love. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell the people you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy the journey. We take twists and turns in the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Send healing, goodwill, and love to all who need it. Share your feelings. Share your holiness. We are a holy people. Bless you all. Have a fantastic week. A week of love and light. A week of peace and healing for you. To honor all the people of your life. Honor the journey you are on. Honor yourself. Keep your eyes open to what you may not be seeing. Keep your ears open and listen to the world around you. Remember, this is an organic book. The lessons, the laws, the ethics, the ritual, they change with the times. It's how it stays current, relevant, new, meaningful in your life, and continues to provide us with insight and with answers. Remember, we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavanah, our cause, our effect, everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You do have that knowledge of what is good and bad. So acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you have wronged, and ask forgiveness. And do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Forgive those who have hurt you and be forgiving and be compassionate. Do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. It is in sight. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading your holiness. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always there in front of you. I remember to have faith and unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love and all of you. Remember to act with purity of heart and mind, despising none, defrauding none, hating none, cherishing all, honoring every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all peoples know peace in the year, and may you nurture kindness and love everywhere that you go, my friends. We're entering the wilderness together. We'll help each other every step along the way to our road to freedom. While we do, continue to work on yourself by being present in the body and by expanding the heart and quieting the mind. When you want real change, you find a way to work on all three at the same time, because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness and the ability to be present in all circumstances. So do not be afraid. Hold on tight to your dreams, my friends. Turn your dreams into beliefs, your beliefs into reality. When you get so down that you can't get up, and you want so much, but you're all out of luck. When you're so downhearted and misunderstood, just over and over and over you could. Hold on tight to your dreams. Yeah. Hold on tight to your dreams. Give love, my friends. Embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone, because someone is always there for you, whether you know it or not. Be happy, be healthy, be kind, be loving. I look forward to seeing you all next time. Until then, Shabbat Shalom and blessings to you all. Take care. Bye.